Hi, I'm Clara and this is Books and Questions, and today I'm going to talk about what I loved reading this year, specifically my favorite novels. If you'd like to see the whole list of what I read, it was about 70 books, and you can find that on Goodreads or on my blog, which I'll link down below. And in no particular order, except for the first one, which is the best, here are the favorites. Middlemarch by George Eliot. This book is perfection. I have never loved a main character more than I love Dorothea. I also really love the narrator. As soon as you have decided your opinion on a character, the narrator will put you inside that character's head and you'll see things a different way. And it's wonderful. It's a bit of a long book and it was a bit intimidating to start, but those last 100 pages, when you finally get to them and all of the build-up pays off, are just pure bliss. If you haven't read it, you're in for a treat. The Remains of the Day by Kasuro Ishiguro was also brilliant. This is the story of a butler looking back at his life in service as he road trips across England. Simple, but the telling is complex and beautiful, so much of emotion and of Englishness, and about the conflict and tensions between the two world wars. For something totally different, The Brief Wondrous Life of Oscar Wilde by Junot Diaz is as colloquial as a blog post and as lyrical as poetry. It is not usually the kind of book I love. It is very gritty and violent and sarcastic, irreverent. I don't know what to say. It is a writing style unlike anything else I've read, and I loved it. I'm looking forward to reading more of Junot Diaz's writing. All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr. This book is not only beautiful sentence by sentence, but also in its structure. I made a review for this book, and I'll link it down below, but it was my first booktube video ever, so watch gently. Another book I read this year and loved was The Passion by Jeannette Winterson. I read her novel The Power Book when I was an undergrad and was just blown away by her piercingly intimate writing style. She asks enormous questions about stories and bodies and the supernatural and love and how they all fit together. And The Passion answers a lot of those questions as well. The Passion is set in the time of Napoleon, and the story follows two characters in France, in Russia, and then in Venice as they deal with the war and with each other. It's so beautiful. Another book that asks big questions is A Prayer for Owen Meany by John Irving. This book is powerful and funny and painful. There are questions of fate and God using people as his instruments, but also the weird insecurities and awkwardness of New England life. The book builds fearsomely to an ending which comes together so beautifully. It could be a Greek tragedy. Another book with a beautiful ending is Song of Solomon by Toni Morrison. There's a lot I loved about this book, but I think the thing I loved most was how everything fit together. The beginning and the end, the rise and the fall, sometimes literally, of the characters, was so strong that it was thrilling. If you were to map out the structure of the book, that structure would be a work of art. And last but not least is Lila by Marilynne Robinson. If you read Gilead and wanted to know more about his wife, this is the book telling more about his wife. I know a lot of people didn't like it as much as Gilead, but I loved it. I listened to it as an audiobook, and it was very moving. So perfectly representing the fear and the trust needed in any relationship, but especially in a marriage. Especially in a marriage of such different people. And as always, Marilynne Robinson's prose is like sunlight on water, so yeah, there's that too. How about you? Did you have favorites of this year? Are there books on this list that you didn't like, or that you're hoping to read, or that you loved? I'd love to hear about it in the comments. And I'm looking forward to another good year of reading. Happy New Year, everyone! Bye!